Hi everyone, hope you're having an amazing day. I just thought I'd do a quick video on me as a physiotherapist just to give you a bit of background on my experience level and where I've come from and how Soldier On Physiotherapy, my business, has come to be. So I've been a physio for about 5 years. I did an undergraduate degree in exercise science pre-physiotherapy, and then I did a 2-year master's degree at Griffith University on the Gold Coast. So I spent 5 years at uni straight out from high school. I have to admit I'm a bit of a nerd, so I quite like my school, so I quite enjoyed that. Got to the end though and decided, well, I wasn't going to wait to start work. I was going to do some volunteering. So I spent about a month and a half volunteering for people with acquired brain injury and just rehabilitating them and taking them through their rehab exercises and getting them back on their feet, those kinds of things. So I did that for a month and a half. Then I went to northern New South Wales, ventured outside of Queensland for a little bit, and worked 2.5 years in an aged care facility as the only physio there. But I also was responsible for falls prevention and management in the facility, did some manual handling training as the trainer. I used to train some small education modules too on things like how to identify non-verbal cues for pain, how to prevent pain, those kinds of things. And I used to do some teaching for masters and undergraduate physiotherapy students. So I spent a bit of time there wearing multiple hats and pretty close to doing some region-wide falls prevention and management training for the region as well. Then went down to South Australia for a couple of months, decided I was going to drag my now husband back up to Queensland, and I worked across 3 aged care facilities down there. Then came back and did some work in Toowoomba for private practice for about a year, and then decided, well, I had enough of that and I wanted to be the boss instead of an employee, so to speak. So I started my own business. So I started Soldier On Physiotherapy with the mission to be able to help as many people as possible. So my aim is to be able to provide a service that is something that will assist the community, support the community, give back to the community, that is affordable, manageable, and helps provide assistance to everyone that needs it. Spent a long time in my previous workplace and with my aged care facilities as well, working with a lot of veterans. It's very close to my heart because my dad is a veteran. And so hence I started thinking, well, what am I going to call my business? And I liked the name Soldier On Physiotherapy for multiple reasons. One, because veterans are quite close to my heart. And also, to soldier on means to keep going. So it's that sense that nothing's impossible and that you can get up and you can keep going, and there is always something that we can do. So my mission is to find something that's achievable and help support you in achieving your goals and getting to where you want to be. I believe that the client is the one that knows themselves and their body better than anyone can ever tell you, you know your body. And the service that I provide, I try to cater to what you need, not what I think you need, if that makes sense. So this logo here, my husband and I actually designed it from scratch. That was a fun experience. Bits and pieces of paper everywhere, just trying to design what we thought would be a really nice logo that was encouraging and spoke to the mission of the business. and the vision of the business. So we've got a guy here in his wheelchair, and we've got our lady here, and she's helping him to kind of soldier on, to keep going. So you've got the S for the soldier on, which also acts as a pathway. So it's kind of like starting that journey to be able to keep going. So if there's anything that I learned working in the spinal injuries unit for 5 weeks, is that those guys had an incredible motivation, and even though some of them were quadriplegics, paraplegics, they had the ability to find something that was achievable, and that was quite an inspiration, and quite a good thing for me as a young physiotherapist, I think, to have adopted at that time. It's something I've tried to keep over the 5 years that I've been practicing now, is to just kind of find that one thing that we can work on, start small and work the way up. So hopefully that helps explain a little bit, gives a bit of a background of who I am, so you know who I am, and the business and what it's aimed to be. The other thing that I made sure that I wanted to include as part of my business is I had a lot of people back when I was an employee not be able to access physiotherapy services because of cost or time restraints and those kinds of things. So those barriers are things that I have really worked to include or to take on board in starting this business, in terms of helping to rectify that. So with cost, something that I do provide is a free loan and use service for those that can't afford equipment and things like that, so that you can take home and use the equipment that you need without having these additional expenses that you didn't anticipate when you walk through the door. And when that's no longer required, you can bring it back in and we can use it for someone else that needs that. I try and keep all my prices affordable, and something that will enable you to be able to get the services that you need while still being able to afford all the multiple expenses that life seems to throw at us. And so if you are interested or you need physiotherapy, feel free to give me a call. My number is on my Facebook page, Soldier on Physiotherapy, and you can send me a message as well if that's easier for you, and I can have a chat about how I can help you and what we can do to set up a program that fits your lifestyle, whether it's busy and we need to find some exercises that will work in with your what you're doing on a daily basis, or whether or not you're one of those gym goers that just love going to the gym and you just want some technique advice or things like that, or you've just come out of surgery and you need some rehab and some help in getting back to walking, movement, all those kinds of things. They're all things that I can help with. So I'd love to hear from you, even if it's just to say hi. I always love a good chat, which you can tell by the length of this video. I am quite a talker, but I look forward to meeting as many people around the community as I can to be able to help and assist. Hope you have an amazing day. Hopefully it all makes sense. If not, feel free to shoot any questions my way. All right, take care, guys. Bye.